So this is the story of two cyclists, one good, one not, while attempting to ride back-to-back days on gravel bikes, all while carrying their own tools and food from the start of the ride to the end of the ride, oh, and also trying to find water literally in the middle of the desert, all with the simple goal to find out, is this possible? So going into day 4, we had 25 hours in the first 3 days in our legs. We started in Primm near the solar array. It was so beautiful. It was pretty cold, but the very first obstacle of the day was one of the biggest and hardest climbs I've ever done in my life. The combination of how steep it was and how loose it was and the boulders, you really had to pick your lines right, and there was no rest. You had to just be full gas just to stay upright, which many times we were not upright. Many times we had to stop and walk the bike. Jeremiah really showed his technical skills on this thing. He flew up this, so I was just trying to hang on. A lot of walking though, but it was early on in the ride, so we did have some energy. After this crazy climb, we now hit this insane descent. There's really no way to show you on camera how difficult this descent was, even though the profile seemed like you just fly down. It wasn't like that. I tried filming, crashed a couple times, but after that, we were treated to one of the best roads I've ever been on. It was pure glossy pavement. We got to be on that for a little while and head ourselves towards Death Valley. Before we got into Death Valley, we had to hit a pretty technical downhill trail. Again, on the profile, you can see that it should just be all smooth sailing all the way down, but it's not. It was extremely difficult. Again, I fall. I'm getting really frustrated at this point. You know, Jeremiah, he's a pro mountain biker, and so he's kind of pushing my limits a little bit, but we did finally make it to the one water stop on this entire trip. The power was out, and so we had to get a trail angel to give us some water. She brought a ton, 5 bottles for both me and Jeremiah, so we are feeling amazing now. We then hit the road that goes right near the Ibex Dunes. There was a bit of this road that was rideable. It was like there was some rain that had been put down, and so more of it was rideable than I thought would be. Still a lot of sand, and it was difficult. We had to walk a bit, but we ended up coming across this guy, Uncle Ron, who gave us this amazing song right there. We tried our best to get all the way to the finish. We came up about 30 or 40 miles short, but we still had the time of our life.
This is By and By Camp.
And I knelt myself thinner with that chip on my shoulder. And this past year I got so much older. Looking back over my life, spent most of it tongue-tied. Wish I had more time listening to her speaker mind. Now I'm thinking about her every day. On my mind, a tip away. Are you alive, horse? Thinking about her every day. On my mind, a tip away. Are you alive, horse, to me?
If I had a lighter.
We definitely had one hell of a day. 126 miles, but I mean, miles don't even work. It could be parsecs. It could be like, it's more like light years. You know, light years don't even equate. And I think something about the miles on the sand, I mean, you can just scoop up the pebbles and river rock and you roll into this stuff and it looks solid. But then you sink. I mean, you just sink